Okay, we are in community conference. It's May 20th, 2026, and it's Senate institutions and House institutions and corrections. And I will go down the areas where we could concur with the House. It's unfortunate that the door controls that came in so expensive, $10 million, that we had to cut some pretty good projects. So we are okay on the entryway. We have suggestions on the language, but the entryway,
Line 12.
line 12, thank you.
The egret.
The egret, yeah, the 25.
Yeah.
And we'll have some suggestions to the language.
So you're okay with 1,300 versus 1,320?
Correct, and they should be able to do the work. They should be able to include the entryway in the work,
So
or the
you're gonna-
egress
So
rather.
are you gonna have language for that?
Yes,
I think we talked about leaving the language as is,
well,
just lowering it.
this language is as is.
Yeah.
But the actual bill might have different.
Should we work in terms of construction documents at all? How we get to construction documents in the next final decision before you can go out? Because the legislature is ultimately going to be funding this project. And I would think we would need to have submission of the final construction documents before they go out to bid. So we know what the cost is.
Yeah, there should be.
And there's no language as to where it goes. I wonder if we want to clarify that.
I just ask a clarified question is, are you concerned about what the design is going to look like? Because then you want to see it well before construction documents. You want to see it after the initial design phase. If not, going backwards.
No, we don't want to go backwards. No, it's as they proceed forward.
Yeah.
If you'd like, so BGS has the architect and we work in partnership with the sergeant at arms. The proposal that was brought forward to the committee with the $20 million, it has a schematic design.
Right.
The money that you have appropriated is to take that to construction design, to finalize it, to come in and get the remainder of the money. And I think you put in language. I think the Senate put language in the budget that says you've recreated the committee.
Joint Legislative Management Committee, but who gives what
The special committee language, I think, has been added on the Senate side
Right.
someplace,
the
right?
Yes,
chairs?
yes.
But what has happened when we've had big construction projects in the institutions world? And this happened like with the Wilson Barracks, school example. They come in, they're towards the end of design documents. So beyond schematic design, you get into your design
Design
documents and get
development
into
documents.
your construction documents. All of a sudden, the price was like, whoa, wait a minute, go back to the drawing board. Maybe we can reconfigure. And I think it's at that stage. I think the legislative body as a whole, but particularly the institutions committee, because they're going to look to budget dollars. We need to have a say in, this design of the entryway and the egress really does make sense. Or there could be some real concerns like, well, you're taking away a lot of parking, or where is the access for X, Y, and Z?
Yeah. So
That's what I'm looking
So
for.
usually go through three steps: schematic design, design development, and then construction document. So what I'm just saying is if you want to, then you would add some language in there that you want to see an updated cost estimate or where they are at each step. If that's what you're.
So we presented schematic design and our cost estimate. We've done some design development. And we're moving, and this money that
1.3.
is moving it towards construction documents.
So before the final sign off on construction documents, I think our committees
Yes.
need to weigh in because it's gonna impact our capital.
Or when the design documents are complete.
Right.
That might be the better place before you go
Somewhere.
into construction
Right, because design
development.
development documents really are 80% of the way there, really have most of your cost and
Right.
elements. So if you get a submission then, and then give okay to move from there into construction documents, I think that would get you to where
Right.
you want to be.
Because that impacts our work. And I think it really needs
Yeah, I
to go
agree.
back to the institutions. It's not. just-
In addition to the special committees.
So, yeah, but
Yeah.
they're not in the construction. JLMC is not construction. They've
Well,
only
let's have it
added
be
you and I, but I think we really need our two committees to weigh in on this because we're the ones that will end up funding this if we're back next year
So,
in the capital.
so you would add a submission at design, at completion of design development with a estimated construction costs.
Yeah, but the thing is, we can't act our session.
Come to the two chairs.
Yeah.
Lead.
Yeah, but I think the whole
Well-
committee needs to weigh in on something like this.
Right, so then it'll wait.
Then it has to wait.
Well, what, actually, no,
It's the two
it
committees.
overlaps.
The two committees,
That's the time. I mean,
yeah, we looked at that. So when, that's too far.
Next year.
When.
The purple is next.
So your construction documents would be August 26th to May 27th.
Yep.
So come
That's how
January,
close we are in, when we've done a lot in design development.
so come January, you present to the two institutions committees. So why don't we put some language in there for that? Because
that'll be beyond DDs, but it'll be the first opportunity that we would have.
you can still make changes.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's the key, because I think we really need to work. Be more inclusive to our members to really work on this. We need to know what the impact's gonna be on the capital bills. Capital bill's gonna fund this, and if it's a $24 million project, and I'm doing it in 1 year,
Yeah,
along with a correctional facility.
I agree with you. You need to be
Yeah.
prepared for folks to want to make changes.
So,
So that's,
John, you get the gist of that.
Yep, so John Gray, legislative counsel, I think Senator Benson's summary was pretty helpful, adding essentially to the section a new. It'll be solely legislative language, it will, it'll be in the same section, but it'll be a separate from the line item. That upon completion of design development documentation, come back with estimated construction costs to the institutions committees January, or you could just say, come back January
I
2027,
would get rid of the
get rid of the design.
development because they're gonna be beyond design development.
Sure. So if it's just come back January 2027.
So to prevent to present the status of the design and an estimated budget.
And the final cost, final construction.
Well, you don't have a final till you go upstairs.
Right. But it would be an update of the construction cost estimate.
Yeah.
Because you need to know that. It can't be in isolation.
right. And then where is it said that the other committee, the special committees?
I thought.
Is that already
It's on
determined?
operations amendment to the capital.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
where it was.
So we don't need to,
Goes on the
Yes,
Senate
okay.
side, goes on appropriations amendment to your amendment.
Okay.
The bill.
but we
I believe.
changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Just to be clear on that committee, it is a special committee consisting of legislative management and the chairs
Right.
of the institutions committees.
But their authority is to review, not to approve. Is that correct?
Yeah, to review, approve, or recommend alterations to the state health and freeway design at a regularly scheduled joint legislative management committee meeting.
Okay.
Same as it was in the, yeah, exactly. I do have
Also
to,
keep in
Yeah.
language for the institutions.
Okay. This will bring them. Okay. Okay. So that's, so door controls, we understand the necessity and, agree.
Okay.
So the lease agreement with, the, HUDs, Vermont HUDs. Yes, we do agree, and I was anticipating something like what you suggested.
Yeah, we've worked with
With the
John.
check facts.
Yeah, John's working on that language. He might not have until tomorrow since it's booked up. but
Yeah.
I shared that with him.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very good
Yeah,
suggestion.
she's working on that.
Okay. We're good with that?
Yep.
So the next one is actually, let me just go down the ones where we're. Okay, so that's the door controls, boiler, obviously we're fine with that. The Wi-Fi, we agree to the Wi-Fi that you changed.
Okay.
And, I'm sorry, to interrupt, but we talked, John Gray has us about what the language would be in terms of keeping on top of them and who was,
Yeah.
what we talked about was simply I think what you had suggested was that every scheduled meeting of our committee, joint legislative justice, that they give an update from all three, agencies and departments.
And it'd be good for scheduling things, because if you do it monthly, we don't always meet monthly. Sometimes we wait quite some
Yeah, that was-
months in
that was-
December.
John Gray gets all the credit for saying that.
Okay,
No, and that's a good,
and
And
BGS
hopefully-
involvement, because I've spoken,
BGS, DOC, TDS.
but also BGS involvement in any of the planning and installation. So it's not just reporting to joint justice, but also they need to be in conversation with ADS and DOC.
Okay. And
BGS needs to
On
be
the
in that,
facility.
on the facilities itself.
we had not talked about language for that, but I assume we'll be.
no, that makes sense. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but
That's about that.
what did you say, Scott?
The record, Scott Moore, joint fiscal. I'm keeping track of things and make sure John knows about.
Yeah, so there's two things there for Wi-Fi, BGS involvement
Yeah.
with ADS and DOC, and then there's all three need to present each scheduled joint justice on the same meeting. Okay.
Right, multiple meetings.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So the next one, maintenance, replacement and renovations. What we're what we want to do there is be very clear about the language. And we can do it with the funding that's
Okay.
already there.
So I've spoken to John about that with adding putting in correctional facility, and also prioritize the bathrooms.
Yes, exactly.
And then, he's gonna do language that if they're looking to use those other correctional facilities because of overcrowding, they need to give a review of that to joint justice.
Good. Good. Recovery house, this, I reluctantly agree, because it's, I mean, for what I said previously, I appreciate their work very much. But the process is challenging, and I would much prefer that it would go through, the appropriations.
So you're zeroing that out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a.
Guys.
I get, yeah, yeah,
Zeroing it out.
yeah,
Okay,
okay,
trying to be clear.
yeah, yeah. And then with the historic sites, the historic, two grant programs, I still do believe that these grant programs are different than the other ones, but I understand your point of view. And what we are proposing to do, our position is to take the 100,000 that each for two of the programs, for the two programs, and put it in major maintenance of statewide historic sites. So it'd be 200,000 added to line 37, which will, allow more of the state historic sites to be preserved, which is.
So go back to our 300,000 each. And redirect,
Yes,
redirect 200,000 to that.
yes.
Okay.
37, yeah.
Yeah.
So the items that we have not made a decision on yet are the, AR technical support and the 2 language items, the 110 and stormwater. So-
We zero out the tech. And again, we'll accept your stormwater policy language, not the money, but your policy language in exchange for selling 110, because we do not want this bill to be vetoed.
Okay,
We've put in a lot of work in this. And this will also, by not being able to sell 110, if we get a veto on this capital bill, which we've got enough other bills that could be vetoed and nobody knows where we're gonna end up on that. And that also puts a lot of pressure on BGS in terms of, not being able to sell the building, will end up having us put in a lot more money in that building for maybe a use that really limits its use. So we stand by that exchange of accepting your policy language for the utility in exchange for selling 110.
I understand. Okay. So if we can meet later today, that would be great. I don't know if we can, but, okay.
I think, let me just go out with the 3 about the 200,000 and Scott, and I'll be right back on top of that list.
Okay,
Okay,
great.